Okay, welcome back to part 2 of exploring the species that we've encountered in this game in Beyond Blue. We have a few more that we're going to look at, the second half of our list, and we're going to start with the split fin flashlight fish. Really cool eyeliner this guy has. This one is the Anomalops Catoptron. Anomalops Catoptron. That sounds like the name of a cool child's toy. The Catoptron. This is in the Twilight Zone. Has special organs under the eyes filled with bioluminescent symbiotic bacteria. It can be blinked on and off at will. What? That's crazy. Blinked on and off at will. Uses bioluminescence to detect prey in the darkness as well as to coordinate movements within a school. So the blinking on and off can be used to coordinate their movements as a school. Wow. That's the flashlight fish, the split fin flashlight fish. Then we have something from A Nightmare, the Atlantic football fish. This is nature trying out its scariest recipes. Man, it's not something I mean, it would be amazing to encounter in the ocean, don't get me wrong, but it takes some adjusting. Wow. Let's see. Hemantolophus, or Hymantolophus groenlandicus. Hymantolophus groenlandicus. In the midnight zone, under 1,000 meters. Females possess a luminescent organ called the esca, which glows due to symbiotic bacteria that live in it. Look at the lights all over its body. That's really cool. What's wrong, buddy? Our greyhound puppy just had breakfast. The football fish. I guess it does sort of look like a football. About the same coloration, right? The Atlantic football fish. And we had the hagfish. We remember seeing these guys rising and falling through the brine pool. This is another one we don't have a species for, but just a genus. Aptatritus species. So again, when you see the SP period, that's indicating that there are multiple species in this genus, or at least that the species is not being defined here, just the genus of hagfish. In the midnight zone, below 1,000 meters, poor vision but very good senses of smell and touch, lives in burrows on the seafloor and locates its food by smelling and feeling as it swims. One of the species that can survive the conditions of a brine pool. Can produce copious amounts of sticky slime nearly instantaneously. As the slime contacts seawater, it rapidly expands into a gel that can suffocate an attacker or foul mechanical equipment. Lovely, right? The occasional insertion of comments like, lovely, right? Is kind of charming, I guess. So we have the hagfish genus. The moon jellyfish. These ones were particularly hard to spot in the open ocean. That was one that we were missing a lot of, because, you know, they're mostly translucent, difficult to see sometimes until you're pretty close to them. Again, indicating the genus rather than the species. Aurelia is the genus. No species defined. Found in the Twilight Zone. The moon jellyfish are a master class in survival. They can effectively age backward by reverting to an earlier developmental stage and regenerate lost body parts. In the last video I mentioned that was another one of those facts that will appear when you go back to redo a dive. Captured food is transported up the tentacles using mucus and cilia into the stomach, where it's broken down by enzymes. Moon jellyfish. We had the comb jelly. There were so many of these. We scanned 43 of them. Look at that really cool color effect. This is Barrow ovata. In the Midnight Zone. Self-fertile, meaning that a single comb jelly is capable of reproducing all by itself. Unlike true jellyfish, the tentacles are sticky instead of stinging. Huh. Self-fertile. Wow. The rainbow effect of the comb jelly is not due to bioluminescence, instead created by the movements of its cilia scattering light like a prism. My gosh. Guys, we live on an alien world. This is crazy. Who needs science fiction when you can just go into the ocean and discover things like this? Like, what is going on planet Earth, man? It's crazy. The Atolla jellyfish. This is the one that reminded me of a giant eyeball. Really something cool going on here. See that pattern that's you can see sort of swirling around underneath there? They were artificially recreating that to see if they could get draw in predators. Atolla wyvillei. Wyvillei. Atolla wyvillei. This is in the Midnight Zone again. Dark red color to look invisible in the deep water. Oh yeah, again, because of the spectrum thing. It typically has 20 marginal tentacles and one hypertrophied tentacle, which is larger than the rest. Oh yeah, I see it in the picture there. Quite a bit out past the rest. Wonder what that's for. That's interesting. That's, I mean, or if it serves any particular purpose. Atollas create bioluminescent alarm patterns when threatened, which can be seen from as far as 300 meters away. These patterns are thought to attract predators to attack the creature threatening them. Well, that's an interesting defense mechanism. Draw the predator towards you so that you can attack it? I think that's what it's saying. Huh. The Atolla jellyfish. The Dana octopus squid. This is Teningia dani. In the Twilight Zone, instead of long feeding tentacles like other squids, it has yellow photophores, or light-producing organs, at the end of 2 of its tentacles, complete with lids so it can flash them at will. Hey, are you winking at me? Oh yeah, I see it on 2 tentacles there. Then we had the giant squid. This one was Architeuthis japonica. In the Midnight Zone. My, what big eyes you have. Giant squid have the largest eyes in the animal kingdom. What? They are thought to leave giant sucker marks on prey when attacking, but no one has definitely confirmed this. The largest eyes in the animal kingdom belong to the giant squid. Training our light-based lure to mimic the bioluminescent alarm pattern of the Atolla jellyfish. So that's what I mentioned a second ago. Trying to draw in the giant squid. First giant squid sighting on the expedition thanks to Andre's light-based lure and the prior e-jelly work of Dr. Edith Witter. Next we have the whale shark. Now we'll get into the sharks here. The whale shark Rhynchodon typus, seen in the Sunlight Zone, largest known living fish. Yeah, so this was my question earlier, was like, maybe by weight the sunfish is heavier, but it looks like the largest known living fish is the whale shark. Only found in warm waters, may live for over 100 years, endangered. Andre will trace the origin of the tag to see what study might be in progress with this whale shark. New Wi-Fi tag deployed to enable acoustic tracking. Biosample from the whale shark shows healthy cells. Largest fish in the ocean. And what was the size? Up to 10 meters long. The white-tip reef shark. You see the white tip on its fin there? It's got white tips on not only that fin, but the 2... Oh, it looks like it's sort of got white tips on all of its fins. It's more pronounced on the fins on its back and on its tail, the top of its tail, but yeah. This is Trienodon obesus. In the Sunlight Zone, one of the few sharks that doesn't rely on ram ventilation, allowing it to stay perfectly motionless while still pumping water over the gills for oxygen. Okay, so this answers a question. During our dives, I noticed, and for a second there I wondered, like, is this a glitch in the game? Like, these sharks aren't moving, and my understanding was sharks have to keep moving to get water to flow over their gills, but we actually learned something here, that the white-tip reef shark is one of the few sharks that doesn't rely on apparently what's called ram ventilation, so it can stay perfectly motionless. So we saw, groups of them sitting in the seaweed close to the rocks like this here, just not staying perfectly still. And that's why, I failed to scan some of them because I didn't even see them. So that's really interesting. They can, I don't know, I wonder if that means they could sort of lie in ambush and wait rather than swimming around in the open hunting for prey. One of the more chill shark species. Not much for going out either. It may reside in the same crevice or cave for months or even years. White-tip reef shark. The scalloped hammerhead shark. A familiar shark to a lot of shark fans. We have lots and lots of sharks in my house. Stuffed sharks all over the place. Stuffed shark toys, not taxidermy sharks, by the way. Maybe I need to clarify. This is Sphyrna lewini, seen in the sunlight zone. They get their name from their scalloped-shaped head, or an indent in the middle, meaning an indent in the middle. Hammerhead sharks are known to sunbathe. They sit in shallow waters and their skin turns darker without them burning. They go out for a tan. Like other hammerheads, they form very large social groups. Reason isn't known why, but this behavior makes them more vulnerable to fishing, so it's not as common as it once was. Sharks have been around for over 400 million years. One of those cool things you see in like Blue Planet documentary and like on the Apple screensavers and different things, you'll see these images of just these giant social groups of hammerheads all swimming together. It's really neat. I tend to think of sharks as more solitary hunters, but seeing them all together in those big groups is really awe-inspiring. The scalloped hammerhead shark. Now we have the swell shark. Cephalocilium fasciatum. Cephalocilium fasciatum. In the twilight zone. Nocturnal, it sleeps in rocky outcroppings during the day. Some individuals have been seen sleeping on top of each other. How the swell shark looks to the human or primate eye, and how the swell shark looks to another shark. Biofluorescent patterns visible with UV light. And we did that cool UV experiment to see the difference in the game. The shark perspective versus the primate perspective. All the things that we may not be able to see with our eyes and the color spectrum that is available to them. Alright, we're on our last three here. Next we have the sleeper shark. This one is Somniosus specificus. Somniosus, you can, somnolent, you can think of, that's the Latin for sleeping, right? Or something akin to sleeping anyway. I'm thinking of like, like it almost reminds me of like the word somber, right? Like calm and sleepy. In the midnight zone, typically found in more temperate oceans, so why here now? When feeding, grabs a bite of its prey and rolls its body to rip off a chunk, like when they're feasting on a whale fall. So, interesting question raised. If they're typically found in more temperate oceans, why found here now? Migrating because of temperature change or behavioral change? The sleeper shark. Next we have the octopus. And we have Octopus vulgaris. Seen in the sunlight zone. The octopus can use its highly evolved eyes to detect both the color and intensity of light and use chromatophores to match the look of the seafloor. Wow. That is... the color changing ability is really impressive. Mirai's first public inking. Great test of Andre's fancy suit. And the very last animal on our list, the 7-arm octopus. This was the species during our dive. Was like, I think we may have just discovered a new species of octopus. Haliphron atlanticus. Seen in the midnight zone, under 1,000 meters. Haliphron atlanticus. I'm just going to do a quick search here. The 7-armed octopus is one of the 2 largest known species of octopus. Based on scientific records, it has a maximum estimated total length of 3.5 meters. So it is a, it's a real identified species. Something that we're learning more about now. Haliphron atlanticus. But that's interesting. Not a lot of information in the game provided here, but one of the 2 largest known species of octopus. This one here, it says somewhere around 2 meters in the game, but online I'm seeing a maximum estimated total length of 3.5 meters. So that is the last animal on our list of all of those we have encountered in Beyond Blue. So one last time we'll read through the entire list we have. We're going to be adding this to our total list of species from all the games we play on Naturalist Gaming. So we've added the Chilean devil ray, the sperm whale, the humpback whale, the bottlenose dolphin, the orca, the leatherback turtle, the northern Pacific sea star, the giant clam, spider crab, royal angelfish, mailed butterfly fish and black-wedged butterfly fish, Koi's parrotfish and tricolor parrotfish, clown triggerfish and titan triggerfish, white-spotted pufferfish, blue-green damselfish, soldierfish, splendid alfonsino, great barracuda, remora, spotted sardinella, pilotfish, ocean sunfish, John Dory, orange ruffy, silver chimera, barrel eye fish, lanternfish, split fin flashlight fish, Atlantic football fish, hagfish, moon jellyfish, comb jelly, Atolla jellyfish, Dana octopus squid, giant squid, whale shark, white tip reef shark, scalloped hammerhead shark, swell shark, sleeper shark, octopus, and 7-arm octopus. So thank you so much for joining this playthrough of Beyond Blue, and we will see you in the next game.